I get a lot of questions throughout the day from followers and subscribers that ask me, a lot of the questions really circle around, how do I sell more, right? Or what's the fastest way that I could sell more? And so I'll let them know and say the fastest way is just to do it, right? Is to execute, is to study your craft and be persistent. But oftentimes, I should say most of the time, I always get a response back that says, yeah, but my fees are too high, or my rates are too high, or I have no support. There's some sort of reason and excuse. And so I hope to make this video to be kind of a blanket answer for all of you who's trying to understand how to survive in a market when you don't necessarily have the most competitive price. Now, the way to do this is I want to share with you an experience, and I know you've experienced it as well. Let's use Apple, for example, because I think a lot of people have been inside of an Apple store, or at least of an Apple store. And the reason why I'm gonna bring that up is because when you compare an Apple store versus, let's say, another electronic store, let's just say, anything from, let's say, Verizon or a Sprint store, there's a complete different experience, right? Not only the kind of the sense and the energy, but also the overall look. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because even though Apple is selling the same stuff, same gadgets, same phones, same tablets, same MP3 players, right? Same iPods or whatever it is, same watches as, let's say, Microsoft. If you've ever been inside of a Microsoft store, it's just different, right? And I would say what makes Apple stand out and is able to charge a premium is because of the way they differentiated themselves. And so even though it's the same product literally as other gadgets, they have their own specific tailored fits, right? And so there are certain things that Apple does that Microsoft doesn't do, and vice versa. But how does Apple stand out enough to where they could charge much more for the same exact gadget? And what can we learn from that experience? Well, what we can learn is that if you really kind of peel back the layers of the success of Apple, it's because it's really tailored to you. Meaning it's very easy, it's very convenient, right? The overall experience it sucks you within their ecosystem. And so if you look at Apple as a whole, when you buy their phone, it's not just the phone. What happens is they suck you into their world. So they make you open up, an iTunes account. Then next thing you know, you have Apple TV, right? And next thing you know, you got your email, your domain is with Apple. And then they have you open up like the music store and then iBooks. And then next thing you know, you're just so consumed within that iCloud ecosystem or that Apple ecosystem that it just becomes easy. It's convenient. And one of the things I do believe strongly is that people, us, consumers, everyone in general, will pay premiums for convenience. We pay premiums now for speed, right? You ever order something online, you pay a couple extra bucks just so you can have it in a day or two, right? Just so you can expedite that delivery service. We all do, right? The whole reason why we have Amazon Prime is because we like the convenience of having the products that we buy the following day, the next day. And so the reason why I want to bring that up is because if we can take that idea and apply it to ourselves. See, Apple isn't worried about being the lowest price. Apple doesn't worry about the prices of the competitors. Apple's going to do Apple. You know why? Because Apple stands out and is different. And so we have this opportunity to stand out and be different and not necessarily focus on the price of our competitors. You see, differentiation is us coming in and actually tailor fitting, making it as convenient and easy as possible. Not only that, but to be different enough to where we don't sound like our competitors. We don't look like our competitors. The experience, that the very first impression that our consumers feel when they work with us is completely different from our competitors.